Hello, Christopher Dahl here. Today at our third Shred Masterclass UltimateGuitar.com lesson, we're going to have a look at the beginning part of my solo Curious Coincidence. And also I'd like to say that today I have a sore throat and I've eaten loads of medicine, so I think you'll be able to hear what I say. Either way, we'll let the guitar do the talking today. We're going to have a look at the following section of the song Curious Coincidence. So the beginning lick is a simple hammer-on thing, starting from the 19th fret. From the 9th fret to the 11th fret. And then just applying some vibrato. And then we're going to get into this kind of pattern. So what I'm playing there is the B flat minor scale, and at one time I'm adding the harmonic minor note, or the major 7th. So it goes like... The first pattern is a 3-note thing, goes like this. And I like that kind of pattern because it's a fairly simple one. It doesn't have many notes or wide stretches or anything like that, which makes it good for improvisation, because obviously it's harder to find an improvisation around something if it involves a lot of notes and etc. But this kind of thing, you can just... if I were to show that improvisation in the standard pentatonic box, E minor 12th fret, you can see what I'm doing. So we could just do something descending like this. Okay, back to the lick now. And then we have something like this. So from the beginning we get this. Okay, so I've gotten many questions about that scream there, and we're gonna explain how to do those screams or artificial harmonics. But first, this pattern is, if you haven't been too serious about alternate picking before, I think you should try to do that now and see this as a starting point for your alternate picking career. Because this kind of thing, I would never be able to do that with, with 100% downstrokes. It would be very hard. Okay, so look very closely at my right hand now. Constantly up and down. I would never get up to tempo otherwise. So alternate picking there. And then we get to this kind of squeak thing. So how to produce those screams? The key to artificial harmonics is holding the pick right. So you need to just have a tiny part of your pick, how to say, visible. So the whole idea is to strike the string and at the same time damping the string with the thumb. So that's why we need to hold the pick so close to the thumb, because we need to strike and damp at the same time. That's when the harmonic is produced. Because obviously if you're just striking the note on the 11th fret here, without damping you won't get any harmonic. So like that, and this is the exaggerated movement. That's number one. But number two is, you'll notice that even if you do the right movement, you're not guaranteed to get a scream. So you also need to pick at the right place, because at some spots there are no harmonics. So have a look at this. No harmonic there, right? Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. No harmonic there either. So this can be different from guitar to guitar, but I usually find most harmonics around the middle pickup. Okay. So until now we have this. And then we get an interesting legato pattern, hammer-on pattern, which is this. Slowly, from the 9th fret on the E string. And I'd like to say a few words about that. When playing legato, it's very important that you strive to get even dynamics. You don't want the first note which you're picking to sound much louder than the rest of the notes. Because the whole point when you're playing fast is to get, fluid kind of run. Or most of the time that's the case when you're playing with distortion. And if you constantly strike, one out of 3 notes much harder, then you won't get that, fluid kind of sound. So when practicing this lick, make sure that you're striking very softly with a pick. So look at my right hand, you'll barely see the movement. Okay, so that's really important. So the next, so this pattern is what I call a single string melody, because it's played on one single string. And the advantage of that is, number one, you can include slides in between the notes. This would be kind of hard if you were changing from different strings. And also I think it gives a different tone to the melody if you play it on one string as opposed to changing strings. This kind of sliding, creating melodies around slides is something typical to Steve Vai. This is kind of weird. Okay, so you can read from the tab to get the melody down. But how to do those slides? Let's say we take this 18th fret of the B string as our target note. We're gonna start the slide, or I'm starting it from the 13th fret, so all the way down here. So it's important that you really strike the notes here at the 13th fret.